Hello, welcome to Learn How to Paint in Acrylics. My name is Michael Pickett and I'll be your instructor. Well, today's lesson will be a waterfall, Falls Creek Falls. It's located east of Roseburg, right off the Umpqua Highway. Well, let's go to my studio and I'll show you how it's done. I'll see you there. Going to add Hooker's Green as a base to our canvas. Now take your sock and lightly wipe away the paint and letting that pencil show through. Now what we're doing here is we're creating the water on the bottom of the waterfall. And the water up against a rock wall is usually a lot darker than it is when it comes to the foreground. Now we're going to work on the rocks on the canyon wall. You add your darkest colors first, and then you take your lighter colors, start in the center of your rock, blend it to the edges. That'll make it look round. And you can make any shape that you want. use your black and to outline it, basically just drawing it out. Now you use your imagination and what shape that you want your rocks to look like. And just go ahead and fill that in. Now you can adjust your colors to brown, gray, blue, depending on what you want to put in your canyon. Create kind of an abstract effect. It's kind of like building a brick wall or a stone wall, using the shapes that you want for your wall. There we go. That part of it is finished. Now we've worked on the other side. We're outlining more rocks. Again, using our imagination, getting those filled in. Okay, we're going to add more water to your black and burnt sienna in a mixture, and you're going to fill in the top of the canyon. Now that the top of the canyon is all filled in, just work on the other side. Now where the waterfall is going to be, that would be your darkest area. To make it look like the water had carved it in. Take and highlight some of those rocks on the top. Now we'll take our 10 brush with some black. We'll outline the area that we're going to put our maple tree. Now we'll do some detail on the water. You take your number 2 brush, and we're going to create the reflection of the rocks that you created on the canyon over the dark area of the water and make it look like a reflection. There we go. Now on the very top of the canyon, there's something going on past the canyon wall. So we want to create a light green to give a hint that there's something there. There we go. We got that part of it done. We'll go back later and do some more detail on that. Now we'll work on the other side and we'll build that canyon wall in the distance. We use our Hooker's green, brown, with some white, kind of faded in. Now we'll add a few highlights here and there to give some texture. we're going to put in some sunlight on the left side, just a little bit. Kind of bring the rocks of the canyon out. And that's where the sun is shining through, in between the canyon and the foliage. And we'll add some more sunlight on the other side of the canyon. And we'll place sunlight where we see it in the photograph. With your number 2 brush, we're going to make the tree over on the right side, right over the canyon. Use some burnt sienna and black. Because the tree is dark and shadowed, black and the burnt sienna create a bark. And now we'll take our 0 brush and we'll create our limbs for the tree. Take your hooker screen and we're going to fill in the left side where all the foliage is going to be. That will be our undercoat. We're going to be laying leaves and foliage over the top of that. Do some more detail on the water. Put in blue and white with your 0 brush. We're going to make some real fine lines in between the canyon and the water. Now where the water splashes from the falls, we'll add a little bit of blue and white. Pretty much mark the area of where our water is going to fall. Go back up to the left where we're going to detail some maple leaves. By detailing maple leaves on the edge over the light area, gives it a silhouette of maple leaves. Then when we add more leaves with our 10 brush, it'll give the optical illusion that they're all maple leaves. Now we'll come onto the inner part of it on the top. We'll lighten it up a little bit because we're going to give a hint of branches so it makes you feel that you're looking through the foliage. You add those branches in there. And then you detail a few maple leaves within that area. Add some white and yellow for highlight. Detail more leaves on the side. Now we'll take our 10 brush and we'll dab it into some yellow, green, and a little bit of white. We'll just dab it and to create the foliage. We'll take the brush and barely touch the canvas and dab it up and down. Then it'll create some leaves. Now we'll take black and burnt sienna with our zero brush and we'll make the limbs of the tree. And we'll dab in front of the limbs to give it some depth. Make the tree look round. Okay, we're going to take our cotton sock with some white on it, and we're going to go over the right side. We're going to create some distance between the tree and the canyon. Canyon area is going to be lighter. Now that it's lighter, it creates distance from the pine tree that's going to be in front of it. Then we take our black and burnt sienna, and then we will create the line for our tree. Now we'll take our zero brush and we'll go over the top of that, and it pulls the tree forward and it sets the canyon back to the distance. Now take your fan brush with yellow, Hooker's green, just a touch of black in with the mixture. Go up and down and work your way up. Dab it up and down on top of the branches. You just use your imagination of what you want. I'm going to add the foliage. Now we're going to get some more yellow on our fan brush, and we're going to create some highlights of the sunlight. Now we'll work on the waterfall. Start at the top and work your way down. Now the reason we put that splash mark on the bottom is so that you have a point of entry. So go from the top to that point of where it's splashing. Go ahead and fill it in. Now we're going to make this waterfall just a little bit wider than it is in the photograph. Now we'll take our 10 brush with some burnt sienna and we'll warm up the area on the side of the waterfall. We'll take our 0 brush with some white and yellow and we'll add it a little bit onto the waterfall to make it look like the sunlight is hitting the water. We're going to detail the canyon wall where the light is. Pretty much do the same thing that we did in the bottom area of the canyon, but we're going to do it lighter. We're going to do it with warmer colors. We're going to do it with burnt sienna, white and yellow. Of course, we're going to take some of that black and the burnt sienna together to create the cracks in the rock. Again, you can put in any shape that you want. You can create the rocks however you want them. Outline each rock and then add some yellow and white in the middle, blend it in along to the edge, and do that to each one of them. And then when you're done, it looks like a canyon wall. Pretty cool, huh? Now we'll add a little bit of blue and white on the side of where the light is reflecting. Then we'll add some yellow and white to the top. going to basically detail that area and give the rock some texture that's on the very top of the falls. Now we're going to take some Hooker's Green and water, make a light wash over the top of the canyon wall. That will create some algae, some moss, and give it more of a wet look to it, even if the area is dry. You still have that moss in there. Now we're going to take our number 10 brush with some black, and we're going to fade some black towards the bottom of our tree on the left, and then we're going to fill in all the shadows that we see on the photograph around the fall and on the side. We'll even take our sock and we'll do some blending on the bottom of the tree. There we go. We're going to add more foliage, branches, and over the top of the dark area. And the lighter color of our foliage is right on top of the dark, so it pulls it right out. And take our 0 brush and create the branches in front. Then we're going to take our 10 brush and we're going to create some more foliage on top of that. Now we get all that foliage done. Now we're going to add more light to the top of the canyon. Basically some yellow and white, make it a little bit brighter on the edge. Now we'll sign our painting. There you go, Fall Creek Falls. Hello, we're back. Now that's how you do a painting of Falls Creek Falls. It's located east of Roseburg, right off the Umpqua Highway. Well, until next time, you have a wonderful and awesome day. Bye.